Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the Leon Block. I got random thoughts. If you didn't tell from the title, I do want to get into some stuff I've been meaning to get into as well. But also the topic is simply random thoughts. Hey, so I've been on this ginger kick. I do harvesting, a lot of harvesting. It's harvest season, and so I took home a whole bunch of ginger, and now I'm addicted to this shit. Anyway, make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you follow, like, and share the Facebook page, the Twitter page, the Instagram, and the TikTok. Show me some love, y'all. Show me some love. Y'all know I live in Lancaster County, and there is there's a show on HBO Max called Mayor of Easttown, and it takes place in the fictional town of Easttown, but it actually is my hometown of Coatesville. So like, I don't know, I just binge watched the fuck out of it, and it just like, I was just it's so juicy just watching something. I'm like, I know that place. Yeah, I don't watch much movies or TV, so I've been doing some of that. So that's why I haven't been like posting as much as I usually do on a regular basis lately. I just been enjoying some life. But yeah, I really dig that. Give me some shows and shit to watch, y'all. Like stuff that y'all know I'll like, other than documentaries, because that is stuff that I do watch. So there seems to be a consistent theme I'm learning today. Like going through life, like there's always a general consensus of like an overall feeling that like a country or a group of people might feel. And so I think the theme for today, for people, at least for people I know and interact with, is be kind to yourself. Give yourself grace. There's a lot of this is the time for renewal. This is the time for death and new life and shedding a lot of things. You're gonna endure a lot of loss, and that's okay. So much more will take its place. And I see so many people, and I was one of those people last year, having a hard time parting with the old and making way for the new. And not to say that I'm completely like got it all together now with it, but it's something we're all learning and discerning. Be patient, give grace. Uh, Gee, it's shitty because I don't have the pictures for the things and people that I want to talk about. That's okay, I guess.
Learn about
So
crypto and
what I
get
really
paid
want
as
to
you learn
talk
with Coinbase
shit.
Earn.
What I want to get into first is Lil Kim because I don't I didn't share any photos of her. I didn't feel like it. Uh I'm gonna do a full episode on this, but I just thought it would be cool to touch on it real quick now because it irks me when people just go in on her, not understanding the reasons why some celebrities get addicted to plastic surgery. You know how a lot of people get into they get in a car accident and then they have to take tons of painkillers and then all before you know it they're hooked on heroin. Um, with some of these celebrities, it's kind of the same thing with plastic surgery. I'm not saying all of them, or at least it's just a small percentage. Little Kim, she uh, she was battered and beaten as a young artist, and she was beaten so bad her nose was broken. They had to do surgery on her nose, and as soon as she got out of the hospital, her boyfriend broke her nose again, like really bad. Um, and over the years of trying to get your nose back to what it was like or make it better, it becomes an addiction, and people ridiculed her before the surgery for not being pretty enough. Once she got the surgery, people still ridiculed her for getting the surgery, and it like you can't win. So at some point you're going to have to shut those people out and just do what's for you. And I think that's what she did, and I fully support her for that. A lot of people don't get the whole full story behind it. They're so quick to judge. Mind your business, like, you know, let her live her life. But also, besides her abusive ex-boyfriend, you also have the standards of Hollywood and society. You know, she bleached her hair a lot. She lightened her skin just like other artists did and have come under scrutiny for lightening their skin. It's all because of societal pressures. There was actually there's this article I'll read you real quick about Lil Kim. So Lil Kim talks about in reference to battered women. She says she got out of a relationship with a very abusive man. She's had a black eye, bloody lips, bruised nose. She said he beat me up so bad, I had to get MRIs. I couldn't even move. I had blood clots on my back. And yes, she did leave that guy, obviously, but the damage was done as far as like psychological and uh, physical, you know? But she literally laughs and talks about jokingly how he broke her nose again right after getting it done. So it's sad. It really is sad. It's not something that Azealia Banks had said about being bleaching her skin because of the way that lighter skinned women or white girls get ahead over her. Um, yeah, she said depression, watching white and lighter skinned women advance all while having worse music than mine is confusing. Now, as of late, her music has gotten horrible, but she did have great music at a time. And she was one of my favorite artists at a time. And she's always been very vocal about the racism and colorism and sexism and everything else in Hollywood. She's been very open and vocal about it for quite a while. Let me actually post these articles in the comments for y'all so y'all can check this out on your own time. Oh, fuck. So, Colin Powell, I will not. Rest in peace. That's all I will say. However, Democracy Now! Did speak on Colin Powell, and I will get into that in a bit. I do, however, want to talk about the residents of Benton Harbor, Michigan, are calling for immediate action on replacing the city's lead pipes, which have been endangered to their drinking water since 2018. And of course, it's a predominantly black city. Does this ring a bell? That is because Flint neighbors Benton Harbor. So this is nothing new. Of course, it's fucked up. And so this article comes from Democracy Now! Of course, Amy Goodman is interviewing, and I'm not going to read the whole article, but I will share the link. And then Democracy Now! Also posts an article, A Reluctant Warrior, an examination of General Colin Powell's bloody legacy from Iraq to Latin America. That is one you're probably going to want to read. It's pretty interesting. Drop it in the comments. Telling y'all, Democracy Now! Be on it. They always have the real news. They always they always know exactly what news should be put out there to the forefront. They don't care if mainstream media is not talking about it. If they think it's pertinent that you need to know, you need to know. Aw, what's up, Lexington? How's it going? Thank you for tuning into the Leon Block, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Honestly, tonight I really don't have anything. I did have a couple things in particular to talk about. Lil Kim, ginger tea, because I'm just on a kick of it and I'm drinking it now. I do want to get into talking about black veganism or just drink eating and drinking healthier for a second. And that's kind of where my segue from ginger was going. Because
I'm good. I'm good, Jontel.
that's awesome. That is awesome to hear. Look, we just chilling, right? Um, that ties in with what I spoke on before was being kind to yourself. So I'm gonna tie in here being kind to yourself, ginger tea, and people really just treating themselves better through diet, through healing. And I mean that in the spiritual sense of just meditating through gardening or just working the land, getting your hands in the dirt, getting your feet in the dirt, just sitting on the ground and listening to the world around you and picking weeds. Even if you're not planting anything, I don't care. I'm just speaking off the simple part of that. um can work wonders for so many things, like your blood pressure, for instance, stress, any mental health. um but then when you throw in growing actual things and things that give you benefits, like ginger, for example, uh it really gets you to stop and think more about all of the other things. That I mean, I focus on a lot of things here on the Leon block, but one of the things I don't as much speak on, and I haven't gotten to that yet because I will find a correspondent that we can bounce off of each other for these kind of topics. But for example, environmental racism or climate change. These are things that I do put up articles of, speaking to them, but I don't specifically speak on them yet. I'm trying to frame things in the m- mindset of understanding that, especially impoverished people and people of color in redline communities, especially, are or people that are just in food deserts in general, need to have the opportunity to be self-sustainable. And so many different people that I talk to, there's a place that I work at called Lancaster Pharmacy, and it's a farm that grows herbs and roots and flowers for medicinal purposes to help people in a number of different ways. And one thing that they're trying to do, the person from there is trying to do, is link that place with urban communities locally or people of color communities to have a way to reinvest spiritually to break the generational chains of trauma that we have locally. And that's kind of where I'm going with this, is that I know that there are people locally doing their own thing. There's a lot of people worldwide and especially nationally that are doing their own thing, especially black and brown people, indigenous people that have always been growing from the land and giving back to the land. And where we are right now in terms of even just the supply chain, which is another episode I will be doing very soon, and how it's not just on the brink of collapse, it is collapsing. We're just never going to talk about it. Mainstream media won't, at least. Democracy Now! Does. Um, I forget where I was going, but then you'll know about it. Anyway, there is an increasing number of black and brown people that are taking to eating healthier and adopting the lifestyle of veganism specifically. And to some people it may be a shock, and to some people that still live in redline communities it might be a shock. But honestly, when I go to Philly, anytime I'm in Philly or DC, I see a lot of black vegans and I see a lot of options for vegans. And there's anytime I go to places that's with vegans in those areas, I see lots of black people. So I think it's not just a trend, it's becoming a way of life as people understand that the environments that they grew up in did not nourish them in any type of way, shape, or form. A lot of black people are being a lot more smarter about the decisions they make in every single possible way. A lot of black people are really thriving. Some are not, but some are. And even if you're not completely thriving to the best of your ability, a lot of us do have the understanding and know-how now to know that the benefits of being a vegan or even just eating cleaner. because I'm not specifically speaking to veganism necessarily either. Um, there is a number of different ways to, honestly, for me personally, I eat whatever the fuck makes me happy and what feeds my soul. That may sometimes be very healthy foods and sometimes not so great foods, but I make sure that I'm always being very kind to my body. I do my best. That's what you can do. I think also throwing in a little bit of self care and spirituality and oneness with the universe wouldn't help. It'll definitely help with boosting your diet or the love that you receive from the food that you're eating, I should say. So it's important because the better your diet, the better you could think, the better you could be prepared for anything that's happening in the world around you. And also the better aware you are of forthcoming threats or current threats to you, to this world, to society. The third eye is real. And it's time that we start nourishing ourselves as such. And for the ones that are in the know, it's important to, share the know with the rest of the world. I think I spoke on this morning, just what you have in your head. You don't want it to go to waste. Any We could lose ourselves tomorrow. And I think it's important to make sure that you let a little bit out of yourself, of your mind, what's in your mind, you share it with the world a little bit at a time every day, because you never know, tomorrow is never promised, and the world won't get to know what treasures you have that could cure a disease, that could save the world from the next catastrophe. We don't know. And I always think about things in that context, because it's part of why I'm so transparent and I don't shut the hell up sometimes, to be honest. Uh, literally, no, literally, seriously, live your fucking truth. Because if you don't, what are you doing? Like, the point of living is to live. And with that living comes pain, trauma, hurt, heartache. And I say this every time. Beautiful is the pretty and the ugly. Beautiful is the bad and the good, the horrible and the amazing. Beautiful is what makes a person them, their scars and their makeup, you know? And so we have to live in that way. Nothing's going to ever be perfect, but we can at least try to make things great. And that includes outlook. Speaking of outlook, I'm not going to speak ill will of him. I know that he passed and he had COVID. It was like cancer complications. Apparently, yes, I'm speaking of Colin Powell. If you go to Democracy Now!, which I will post this link because it's all the headlines, and it's oh my goodness, it's so awesome. They really do give it to you raw and short and sweet. But if you also want further information, you can find that too in the interviews and the extra things that they share. So it's really awesome. Oh. Yeah, this is wow. Kenosha, Wisconsin police accused of deputizing white nationalists ahead of shooting deaths. Whew. Biden administration plans to spy on caravans of asylum seekers in Latin America. Yo, for real, fuck Biden. Protesters block Miami port to demand end to Haiti deportation flights. Yo, I stand with Haitians. For real. I stand with all Haitian immigrants, refugees, anyone fleeing atrocities going on in Haiti or anywhere else in South America. I stand with you, and you deserve a place here in America, point blank. Indigenous Amazonians sue Ecuador to halt oil drilling and mining plans. A leader of the Warani. I'm not even going to try to pronounce their name, but these are their words. Our territory is life. We live there, cultivate, fish, hunt. We grow yucca and plantains to feed our children. We rely on the rainforest, on the land, on the river. If oil companies enter the Warani of the territory, all the 22 communities that live there and others will be affected. Again, you can find more of this on Democracy Now! That article is from today. There was tens of thousands of people of Italian anti-fascist protesters rally in Rome. Interesting. New York City taxi drivers will go on hunger strike to demand debt relief. Yeah. Those are the headlines from Democracy Now! Just about every day, they do post new headlines. There are times when they may not. They may miss a day or two, but generally they're on point with it. And of course, I think I did talk about this morning. If I didn't, I'll go ahead and post the link in the comments. But for people who don't know, the trial for these old ass motherfuckers, Gregory McMichael, Travis McMichael, and William Bryan, the murderers of Ahmaud Arbery, will be on trial. Well, it's at least been announced. All right. So, God, I hate those pauses. The last really big thing I want to talk about, I'm really excited for y'all because I have some really awesome special guests coming on this week. Let me take a swig of this because it's going to be a doozy. All right, so tomorrow I will air an episode. We're probably going to film it tonight with my buddy Jose R. Ortiz. If that name sounds familiar, I did a 2-part special on adoption. A gay couple adopting and their struggles. Well, one of those guys is going to be doing an episode with me about geek and nerd culture and lack of inclusivity. It's important that we do address the fact that it's a problem that there's a bisexual Superman or an Afro Latinx Spider-Man. People want to complain about it. Do you think we want to be people of color knockoffs of originals? No, but at the same time, it's still nice to see someone of color on the screen or in a comic book. We would prefer to have originals. Either way, that's something that we need to dig into. And my friend Jose is the perfect person to chat with about it. I can't wait to show you the promo for that. I'm actually in the middle of making a video for it. So bear with me here. And on Wednesday, I have a comedian from Georgia, Ken Crump. If you look her up on YouTube, it's the Kendra Crump Show. Hilarious woman. Hilarious. I cannot wait to see what we get into because it's wow. Yeah. I mean, I know how it is when I have Remy on the show or even my babe Josh on the show, how funny we get. So I'm excited to see how it gets with Kendra. And speaking of tomorrow, I'm going to have my homegirl Nelly on the show. Definitely interested to see what we talk about because we really hit it off last week when I had her on the show for the first time. It just was instant chemistry. And last but not least, well, not last but not least, but the special one that I want to talk about because I've been anticipating this for months now, and I finally got him on the show. I was really nervous to reach out to him, but like I'm so fucking excited. So Terrain, my homie, is gonna be on the show. Terrain, Terrain Myrix, which him and his wife run a podcast. You can check it out on Spotify. I will post the link in the comments. Actually, I will post the link to Kendra Crump's show too in the comments, so you can check out her shit as well. If I can find this shit, where'd she go? Don't worry, I got y'all. I really think it's gonna be a really dope show. Terrain, you can follow Kendra Crump on Instagram at the Kendra Crump Show. I'm gonna put the handle in the comments. She's hilarious, y'all. I'm really excited for that. And I'm gonna post this video of her. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about Terrain. His show is called Alcoholics, and they get drunk and talk about politics. Him and his wife. So I thought that was really cool. Definitely click the link and check out their show. You will not regret it. Each week is a new topic. So I've been on a different show with him before. Shout out to the Barnstormers PA. Barnstorming PA, they do a really awesome podcast as well. I've been on their show a few times, and I was guest on their show the one time with Terrain, and we hit it off, and I was just really excited to link up with him. So last but not least, I will, at the beginning of next week, most likely Sunday, have the president of the Christiana Historical Society, again, back on the show. She is going to be a regular to finally give the full story of the Christiana resistance. Drop some knowledge on y'all because we need it. We need it. I've been giving you culture. I've been giving you laughter. I've been giving you news, notable events. It's time we drop some stuff from the past, dig back to the past, and drop some knowledge on y'all so we can go forward a little bit. Feel me? Word. All right. I think that wraps that up. Thank you for tuning in to the Leon Block, y'all. I so appreciate you. Until next time, be good. Wow.